All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about Brock Purdy, the 49ers passing game. I thought watching this game, he looked indecisive, and obviously that led to inaccuracies. I think it's also fair to say that the toe impacted it. But I don't know. There were a lot of plays where he was wildly inaccurate. So we're going to just go over everything we saw from the 49ers passing game and Brock Purdy against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 4. All right, so this is the second play of the game. And you know something is off when Purdy doesn't pull the trigger on a second or third level route. Like one of his best traits, his attributes are that he knows to hunt the big play. Like that's what has taken the 49ers offense to another level. That's why they've been so successful the past few years. But look at this. Like he has his feet set. Number one wide receiver. Look at this cushion. Is he afraid that he is going to this defender is going to run underneath it? He shouldn't be, because he should be taking on Jauan Jennings right here. Maybe you can say Jauan Jennings is a little deep, right? The spacing is a little off right here. But still, he should be running flat to where there is no way that he can run all the way here to take this. So now it's pretty much just this deep safety right here against Brock Purdy. Again, his feet are set. He's looking down the field. There's nobody in his face. This player is 5, 6, 7 yards away from him. This is a play where Brock Purdy pulls the trigger down the field. So that didn't happen. And once you saw that, you're like, oh man, is it going to be one of those games? And it turned out that was the case. But Kendrick Bourne was charged with a drop on this play. Should he have caught it? Sure. But it was a fastball that was, beamed at him. It was a lot tougher to catch than a typical drop would be. So watch Bourne here. It's not easy at all. Let's watch it one more time. Okay, so the ball ends up being on this side, so he can't even get both hands on it. And I just don't think Kendrick was expecting the ball to come that quickly. All right, let's skip ahead to the red zone. So it's 3rd and 8, and the 49ers don't get points here. But this is where, I feel like Brock Purdy was indecisive. This is where maybe it's a rust issue, him not playing for 2 weeks. He said he did practice and was able to do everything in practice last week, but not being able to see this, not being able to let it fly. Again, one of his better traits is just pulling the trigger when a route is there. So on this route concept, the 49ers are clearly expecting cover 2. So red 2 is just cover 2 in the red zone. This corner is going to be underneath. This corner is going to be underneath. The safeties wide are a hint that it's cover 2 because they have to cover the ground out here. All right. As far as the route concepts go, watch the bottom of the screen. Ricky Pearsall, he's running. He's trying to run a curl, but that's taken around. That's covered. So in the middle is where we're really concentrating. So to the top of the screen here, you can't really see it because I'm in the way. But Jauan Jennings, he's going to run a 5-yard in. Kendrick Bourne, he's going to run up in a swirl route, which just means he's going to run into the end zone, act like he's breaking to the corner, and then come back. So he is going to occupy this safety, and that leaves the linebacker and tight end, who should be George Kittle, right? Ideally, this is Kittle, but he's banged up, so now it's Braden Willis. Braden Willis is just going to run a seam. So because Braden Willis is running a seam against cover 2, right, with safeties going the opposite direction, this is the read. This is where the play is designed to go for a touchdown. As you can see, that doesn't happen. If you just watch Willis right here, he's open. Throw it. How the route and the read should work, again, ideally, is once Willis clears this linebacker, let it fly, especially he's locked in on him. He's looking that way. Once Willis clears that second level, just pull. So even now, and we've seen that, pull, because he's not really opened up yet. So it's there. That's a touchdown. And that has to be a touchdown. Especially if the 49ers are going to play these next couple games shorthanded. Who knows? Ricky Pearsall will be able to play. He landed on his knee. He's going to be listed as questionable. But, when you are shorthanded, you have to take advantage of these opportunities. And the opportunity was there on this play for Purdy to pull the trigger. And, Braden Willis was wide open. I think that would have been his first career touchdown. But we'll see it from the end zone angle. Because, sure, it might look like there is pressure, but I never really got that feeling watching it live. This is, again, where indecisiveness comes into play. Let's take a look here to see exactly what Purdy sees and if there is pressure in his face. 1 Mississippi, 2, yeah, it's there. Oh, yeah, that's plenty of time. Rewind it one more time just so you can see. He's looking right down the middle, right down the field. 23, clears. He just comes off it a little too fast, and that's the difference between a field goal and a touchdown. The 49ers are on the fringe scoring zone. This is 1st and 10, so Kyle Shanahan elects to take a shot. And this is going to be Brock Purdy's first interception. So, as I mentioned, it's going to be max protection. So there's the tight end coming in motion there, and they're going to fake the handoff. Kyle Juszczyk's going to come in motion, and he's going to protect Brock Purdy on the backside of the formation. This tight end is going to run up Luke Farrell, and he's going to try to occupy these backside defenders. Juwan Jennings is going to run a cop route, corner post, a sting route, the Jordy Nelson route, whatever you want to call it. He's going to run up, act like he's running to the corner after widening his release, and he's going to come back, and depending on the leverage, he's going to flatten his route or he's going to run toward the goalpost. So here's how it works out. And if you're just watching Jennings, he sees, okay, like that's a really good job by Jennings where like I know that I cannot get on top of this safety, so I'm going to flatten my route out. And honestly, this is just a really good job by the Jaguars. They had the play covered to a T. Like they almost as if they knew that was one of the Kyle Shanahan's trick plays for this game. So if we focus on the throw, it's just a bad throw. It's Brock Purdy trying to make a play. Like this is what he does, and he just misses. And you're going to see on the rollout here, like McCaffrey times his jump about as well as you can. Like, yes, there's somebody barreling down trying to take his head off, but that's every play. This is not a throw. I should say, I guess the easiest way to put it is, this is not a situation where Purdy would be affected by that player. So, like, I'm not blaming the interception on, well, there is a guy in his face. Like, nope, that's not true. And other people are saying, well, why didn't he just check it down to Kyle Juszczyk? There's nothing wrong with the decision here. He just misses Christian McCaffrey. And, I mean, that is what it is, right? So some have said, wait, why not throw it to him? Like, that's not where his line of vision took him. That's not where he was looking. Honestly, it's a great decision to find McCaffrey. McCaffrey is running in stride, and if he catches that and it's an accurate throw, I'm not going to say he scores, but he might have a chance to make 23 miss. Watch 23 coming back to our screen here. Like here's 23. He's going to have a chance to make a play on the pass. But if the ball is accurate, right, he's running this way. He's running this way. It's pretty much just McCaffrey and this player. Look at this. Like, again, like elite, superb athlete. Timed his jump to perfection. He's giving it us all right now. Full extension. Tries to get both hands on the ball. Like that tells you it's a high pass, inaccurate pass. And that leads to a turnover. So, like, can't really blame the decision, just a bad pass. Okay, so after that Willis play on 3rd down in the red zone, the 49ers made a concerted effort to get the ball over the middle, right? They knew that we have an area of the field, pretty much that intermediate level, from about 11 to 20 yards, where we can get a tight end running down the seam wide open. It's 3rd and 4, and this plays out like cover 2, again, with just the wide receivers, the defense leaving the middle of the field open for you. And on this play, there's, again, nothing much. Maybe this is where it comes to a toe. I don't know if Brock Purdy doesn't want to put pressure on that toe, but this is an open receiver in the NFL, and this needs to be a completion. Again, when you put it into perspective of down Brandon Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall's on the field right now, but he wasn't on the field for much of the second half. So you're down those two top wide receivers. Obviously, Juwan Jennings was banged up. There is no George Kittle, so you're pretty handcuffed in that sense. And this is a play that you have to have. Again, there's no pressure in his face. You just wonder, like, is he thinking about the toe? This was after an 11-yard scramble where, like, I don't want to say he came up gimpy, but there was a difference after that. Just, again, like, I'm not here to make excuses for the players, but an NFL quarterback, like, this is a throw you want to make on 3rd and 4. This has to be a completion. Like, he's open. Timing is there. Again, just a high throw. Okay, it's 3rd and 10. There were back-to-back drops, and this is where drops can be, pretty wonky if you're just looking at them from a surface level. So Kendrick Bourne had a drop. Play would have probably been gain of 2, minimal. Christian McCaffrey had a drop, and that would have for sure been like a -4, -5-yard gain. So those drops, I would say, definitely didn't hurt the 49ers. I would honestly say they're just bad plays schematically, just a bad call on. Okay, 3rd and 10. into the second quarter, this is what happens, this is how it should look when Brock Purdy plays on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back foot hits. Again, they know where they want to go at this point. Like, they have seen something where, okay, if the Jaguars are going to give us the middle of the field, we are going to take it. And Purdy does that here. We'll watch it from the end zone angle, but the timing is there. This is what happens when he plays on time. Like, there is no down and distance where the 49ers cannot convert because, Shanahan is still calling the plays. When Brock Purdy is accurate and when he's playing on time, they are remain one of the better offenses. See, like, he is just now coming out of his break. He's just now cleared the linebackers, the second level defenders, and the ball is already being ready to rip. Like, see, the offhand is off the ball. Good sign. Gets his head around. Ball is low, so he doesn't get decked by this safety. So about as good of a pass as you could throw in this situation. Timing was even better. 3rd and 10, first down conversion. Okay, 2nd and 5, on the 5. 54 seconds remaining. These are, again, the plays. When you pay a quarterback what the 49ers paid their quarterback, these are throws that you have to connect on. People during the game, I don't want to say it's surprising, but Jennings was criticized for not catching this ball, and I don't understand. So he's running a swirl route, which not a fan of. Same route that I just pointed out Kendrick Bourne ran in the end zone to basically distract from Braden Willis. So you run up, you act like you're running out, and then you're going to come back down that stem and either come back inside or stay where you are, depending on the leverage, right? So Jauan Jennings comes up, he feels the leverage, and then once he feels that leverage, he's going to work his way back inside. He is wide open, like especially in restricted areas like the red zone. That is about as wide open as you can expect. So it's a really good route by Jennings. But the ball, I understand why it's low. I just believe Purdy may have seen or may have thought this player was coming. But, that is not a drop in my mind. And the reason I say that is, think about the direction that Jennings is running. He's running full speed one direction. He's running full speed in another direction, coming back toward this way after he comes out of his cut. And now he's being tasked with reaching back across his body as he's running full speed this way. And the overall thought is, it hit two hands, it has to catch it. That is a dinosaur train of thought. That is not how football works. I think it's okay to say, hey, the wide receiver was open. The fact that he was able to get his hands on it says a lot. I think that says a lot about Jauan Jennings' athleticism, but it was an inaccurate pass. And this is a pass that Purdy has to make, and I'm sure he would say the same thing. Okay, so that's 2 drives where the 49ers had the ball inside the 10-yard line, and they came away with field goals. And it was pretty clear that, in my mind anyway, they should have had touchdowns on both possessions. So this is what happens when you leave yards and points on the field. You're always playing catch-up. So now, to begin the third quarter, go right back down the middle, right back down the seam. So, again, I'm pretty sure that they noticed something after that drive to Willis where he didn't get the ball where, hey, if they aren't going to defend the middle of the field, we have to take advantage of that. And that's what Purdy does here. He does a good job. Again, just playing on time, right? Back foot hits, 1, 2, 3, gather, clears the linebackers, and the ball is exactly where it needs to be. Okay, we are going to watch the last play from Ricky Pearsall in this game, and this should have been a 20-yarder for Ricky Pearsall. So the 49ers get the exact look that they want. So Jaguars cover 2. He's going to be the underneath defender. He is responsible for the deep half. Christian McCaffrey is going to motion out after Farrell goes in motion to the other side. So now it is basically 2-on-2. McCaffrey motions out, and now McCaffrey is going to hold this defender, and he's going to run a 15-yard out route and basically roll to 20. Couldn't ask, again, for a better look. So let's watch Ricky's route, and then we'll watch Brock after the fact. Watch them both at the same time if you'd like, but just watching the space that Pearsall has, that is, again, wide open in the NFL. This needs to be a completion. Okay, 7-step drop, right? It's pure drop back passing game. Purdy's timing, let's watch that. There's a motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So feet are in the ground. There's another hitch. There's that extra hitch right there. We'll watch from the end zone angle. What's the difference of not being able to complete this pass and Purdy just being, Pearsall being on the sideline, having to drag his feet. You'll see it from this angle. There's an extra unnecessary hitch. And to me, that's where that indecisiveness is coming from. I'm not sure why, because Pearsall is wide open. Okay, well, I'll start it over again. When he gets to the top of his drop, Purdy looks left. All right, top of the drop, feet are on the ground, looks left. There's a gather, which every quarterback in the NFL does. So after you take that gather step, that is when you throw the ball. So this is when the ball should come out instead. That extra hitch right there is what I mean. So gather, hitch, that little double clutch where I'm not sure why he does that, but it's the difference between not being able to get the ball to Pearsall and getting the ball to Pearsall on a 20-yard route. And then he falls directly on his knee, and he did not return for the rest of the game. Okay, 3rd and 5. This is a couple plays later. So the 49ers, they're going to try to get something going over the middle. Here's Kyle Juszczyk playing tight end. He's going to run up and run out. Jake Tunges, he is going to run an over-the-ball route. And then Jauan Jennings and Sky Moore are going to run pretty much mirrored routes where they're going to run up and run in-breaking routes. Sky Moore does the same. And they're both open. And Brock Purdy plays with good timing here. I mean, who would you rather throw to, Sky Moore, Jauan Jennings? Pretty easy decision. And, again, just watch his feet. It's all about timing in this offense. As long as Brock Purdy's playing on time within the structure, good things happen. And as you can see, ball is coming off his offhand, top of his drop. Jennings hasn't even come out of his break yet. So, again, the timing is superb. When that is the case, especially on these quick hitting routes, it's very tough to stop the 49ers, regardless of who the wide receiver is. You do notice the ball is a little high. Is that, hey, I'm going to put it against my 6'4" wide receiver and let him go up and make a play? Maybe, but the inaccuracies were consistent in this game, so I don't know that Purdy did that on purpose. So there's one thing to put it, let's say, so obviously Jauan Jennings, 6'4", 6'5" receiver. There's one thing to put it around his face mask, but for him to go full extension like that, that is, I wouldn't say that Brock Purdy did that on purpose. I would say just a hell of an athlete right here. Some of the things that he was able to come down with in this game, just very impressed with how Jauan Jennings was able to gut it out. But 3rd and 5, we're able to convert with Sky Moore being one of your wide receivers, and your other wide receiver was effectively your fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. Okay, let's fast forward. So this is middle of the 3rd quarter, and this is Brock Purdy's 2nd interception. So Kendrick Bourne, top of the screen, he's going to run that swirl route where he's running up, act like he's going out, and he's going to stop. Bottom of the screen, you have 3 wide receivers on the same side. I know he's not a wide receiver, but technically this is ineligible. And then the tight end stays in the block, which is key here, and I think a pretty big part of why this play does not work out. Okay, watching it again. I believe that is Luke Farrell who stays in the block. Yes, it is. Okay, now he releases late. Not having a backside threat on this play. So, again, he's running the swirl. You're going to see Christian out of the backfield. He's going to run, the choice route underneath, trying to hold the underneath defender. And then you're going to have the tight end right here running the rail route, easy for me to say, the wheel route down the sideline. All that is to try to clear out the middle of the field. That way, Jauan Jennings is free on this in-breaking route. I say not having this backside threat, so having him go out after he blocks on a delay, having him be on the outside numbers, there's nobody for him to guard. So if he was a bad player, he would just sit in no man's land, guard grass, stare at the quarterback, and not relate to anybody. Because he's probably a well-coached player, and they have seen this route concept over and over again. He's going to try to find work, and that's what he does. Problem is, Brock Purdy does not account for that backside linebacker at all. We'll see that from the end zone angle. So Trent Williams said, we got to block better. We have to protect Brock because his interceptions were tipped. Well, true, the ball was tipped on this play. If the ball wasn't tipped, that does not absolve Purdy from not taking into account all 11 players on the field where they will be. He knows that this player is not going to make a play because I have my underneath running back right here. However, he has no idea where this player is. And yes, like you can see the ball is tipped, but that wouldn't have made a difference. So again, another play where Brock just doesn't account for all 11 defenders, and a pretty costly turnover when the score was 17-14. Okay, so it's 20-14 now. Defense held to a field goal, and there are 2 minutes left, 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter. So really cool concept here by Kyle Shanahan. It's going to be a dagger concept, which just means Jauan Jennings, bottom of the screen, he's going to run up and run a deep in-breaking route. Demarcus Robinson, who I imagine we are going to hear a lot of, especially on Thursday, runs a deep clear-out route. So he's going to run vertical. And Kendrick Bourne, he's going to run up and run a return route, so he's going to run up. He's going to act like he's going one way, and he's going to come back. So by the time Kendrick Bourne does that, the middle of the field could not be more vacated. Everything works out to perfection. Brock Purdy has enough time to make this throw. Brock Purdy puts the ball where it needs to be. You see Christian McCaffrey does his job. Drop. That one stings. There's no doubt about it. Just the way that the field vacates right here. I don't want to say Kendrick Bourne scores here, but this has a chance to be one of their bigger plays because he catches this. Again, he's running this way. He probably knocks him off. He's way out of the play. So by the time he's up here, Kendrick Bourne just has to deal with one player. So at the very least, 20, 25 yards? Instead, it's a drop. The 49ers are not good enough to not make these plays, if that makes sense, right? So, when Ricky Pearsall's on the field, when Jauan Jennings is on the field, when George Kittle's on the field, when Brandon Ayuk's on the field, when Christian McCaffrey's on the field, the margin for error is far greater than what it is. But the way that they played in this game, you just cannot make these kind of mistakes and expect to get away with it. That one, that felt like a game changer right there. Where Shanahan will always excel at is these early down passes out of heavy formations. And technically, it's not heavy. 21 personnel, Kyle Juszczyk, Christian McCaffrey are the backs in the backfield. You have tight end Luke Farrell, and then you have Kendrick Bourne. That's Jauan Jennings. And then you have Demarcus Robinson. I think, especially after Bourne's game this past week, we're going to see a lot of this player on the field. And why wouldn't you, right? So it's going to be a high-low concept. Christian McCaffrey is going to run up. He's going to occupy this underneath defender. Luke Farrell is going to run the seam. I believe Jauan Jennings is the one who is running an in-breaking route. And on this side, another mirrored concept where Demarcus Robinson runs the in-breaking route. Robinson is very big, very fast, and has a giant catch radius. And that is the type of wide receiver the 49ers will need moving forward, especially over the next couple weeks. So I know it was his first game and they didn't want to go overboard with the snap counts, but that's not the type of wide receiver you just leave on the sideline, especially when your other options are, when you think about what the alternative is. I guess I'll just leave it at that. So, again, pass protection in this game was a lot better than any number would suggest. I think this is what you want to see. It's encouraging that Brock Purdy did have time. I don't want to say that's a high throw. I don't know how their timing is, but just give these guys a chance, and I feel like they're going to come up with it. So these chunk plays are going to be huge for them moving forward. Okay, 4th and 2. And the 49ers picked up 1 yard on 3rd and 3. So just more struggles to the running game. So on 4th and 2, you are in a situation where they feel like you have to pass the ball. Jauan Jennings, bottom of the screen. He's going to run a 5-yard out route. Kendrick Bourne in the slot. He's going to run an outside release vertical route. Watch this as I replay it. Again, not great effort. This game would make me want to pull the plug on this player, which seems harsh, but it just was not a good look, not a good showing for 84. And then the tight end, Jake Tonjes, he's going to run a mesh concept with Christian McCaffrey. He's going to run up and run this way. He's going to run up and run this way. They both actually kind of butt into each other, which might throw the timing off. Maybe that just kind of messed up Brock Purdy on this play, but the ball ends up being targeted to Demarcus Robinson, who runs a deep in-breaking route, and he's open, right? This should be a play where Brock Purdy hits him. He's open, but it's high. Again, I'll show you this so you can see the other routes play itself out, but if you watch Purdy's timing as well, he does a really good job of scanning the reads, right? Scanning the field, knowing exactly where everybody is. Does not panic. There's no reason to panic. You see it all the time where just because the internal clock of the quarterback might go off and they drop their eyes even when there is no rush, or they flee the pocket. If you watched Monday Night Football, Jake Browning was doing it all the time. This pocket could not be cleaner. And there is a available window to throw it to Robinson, and he just missed him, honestly. Like, there's really no other way around it. It's a high throw to a tall receiver, and I believe Robinson's listed at 6'1 or 6'2. He looks ginormous when you're watching it from the eye in the sky. But from this angle, you'll see a better angle just where the ball's high, and like if it's out in front, like, all right, like, see how he has to go up and get it like that? It's a fast player, right? Let him run underneath it, whether it's deep routes or crossing routes. So the ball, he's throwing it where if the ball's right here on this line. If the ball was closer to this line, Robinson has more separation. Like you can see, there's a clear separation here. If the ball's right here, maybe he's able to run away. Instead, does not get that opportunity. Has to go up and make a high contested catch. And I'm sure if that's not his game, we just don't have much information on Robinson outside of a few games with the Rams last year. But he was open. And this is a play. When you're paying what the 49ers are playing Brock Purdy, this is a throw that he needs to make. Maybe this is an issue where the toe really messed with him. But 4th and 2, this is a got-to-have-it moment, and the 49ers did not. All right, so at the podium today, Brock Purdy was asked if he felt like his toe injury was affecting him. He said on Sunday he would go back and watch the film, and he'd be able to be honest with himself and let us know, like the people in the media know, like, hey, like maybe my toe really was bothering me. On this throw, 3-step out route, like look where the ball is not even catchable, right? The ball sails out of bounds. This is a sign to me that toe's really bothering him. Like he came out and said he has some soreness after the fact, but if he's missing throws like that, in this, like 5 yards out, this is a throw, you doing warm-ups. This is a throw, this is a throw that Brock Purdy can make with his eyes closed. So this is where you're probably like, oh man, maybe he is really being bothered by that toe. First game back, again, just it's really strange because you want to when you're watching him, you're thinking, all right, this is a quarterback who just got paid a ton. Like we've seen him perform at a high level. We know what he's capable of. We should hold him to a high standard, and that's not going to change, by the way, regardless of if there is a toe injury or not. Still, these 5-yard throws, these are ones you can't miss. So it's 2nd and 5. He puts it on Sky Moore, and it's a first down, and the 49ers are able to stay on the field. Thankfully, we get playground Brock on this next throw where, okay, 3rd and 5, you're on the 49-yard line of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to see Brock go through his reads, and then go all the way to the backside, which is insane for a long play. And Kendrick Bourne caught it, which is a plus. Again, you can see like the opposite colored jerseys flash in the pocket, and he doesn't panic. Brock Purdy does a good job of keeping his eyes down the field. It is insane to think about like the wide receivers and the players that they are relying on. Like if you would have told somebody in week 4 when you're down at home to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 4th quarter, Jake Tonjes will be on the field. Yeah, nobody's believing that. So, man, there's a lot going on in this play. Tonjes is actually right here. He does come open, but Brock's read takes him to the right side. Again, a really good job there of not panicking. I want to watch from the end zone angle because I do want to stress the pass protection. They were very good. They have been good. They are in for quite the challenge against the Rams on Thursday night. Not just Jared Verse, but the Rams have a couple dudes who can really bring it. And I think this was a good test as far as one-on-ones go, but the Rams will for sure be an even bigger test than that. I thought there was, and maybe this is like a toe issue as well, where like Purdy looks, you see how he tucks the ball right here? Maybe he takes off if he's healthy because it would be a first down. Maybe not, because he stands right back up, goes to the opposite side of the field, and then they're able to find Kendrick Bourne for a first down on 3rd and 5, which is a huge play. All right, so it's the 4th quarter, 26-21. The defense just got the ball back for the 49ers, have a chance to win the game. They're at midfield. Christian McCaffrey just picked up 13 yards. Everybody's feeling great, right? This is usually the time where you take a shot down the field and you hit it. So that's exactly what happened. Kyle Shanahan dials up a shot play. Kendrick Bourne's going to run just a vertical route. I believe Jennings does the same. And then one of the tight ends is going to run a deep over-the-ball route. And that's who's going to be wide open. Fortunately, Brock Purdy is not able to get the pass off. And then Eric Armstead, of all people, is able to lodge the ball free. And I feel like you can argue for hours about whether it's on the offensive line's fault, but it comes down to taking care of the ball. Interceptions, to me, not really a big deal. They happen. Part of the game. Whatever. Move on. You should be able to overcome an interception, and it's 26-21. 49ers have already 3 turnovers right now. They had a special teams touchdown that they gave up. They had 2 red zone possessions that I showed where they were inside the 5, right around the 5-yard line, did not convert. They could not have played worse. So the fact that they are in this game right now says a lot, in my mind anyway. Still, does not take away from the fact that your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, needs to be strong with the football, needs to take care of the ball. Like this, as a coach, would drive me way more off the wall than any interception. Just because, yes, like there is pressure, and he was able to evade it right there, but you have 2 hands on the ball right now. And there are so many drills that quarterbacks do daily where they're always worried about, or they're always practicing 2 hands on the ball in the pocket where other players are swiping at them. So this is something that they work on every day. So for this to happen like that, it's pretty backbreaking. And this ended up being the difference in the game. So wanted to show just what the passing offense looked like now that the starting quarterback's back. Of course, this was not the result the 49ers wanted or expected. It could not have played worse. It was Murphy's Law pretty much up and down. I did think the defense played well enough to compete. I know the pass rush was non-existent. Running game on offense was non-existent. Puts more pressure on your quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. He's a high-paid quarterback now. Yes, he does not have all of his weapons, but plays like this cannot happen. The tipped interception, like you have to account for the backside defender. There are throws where they're high and they're abnormally high. So something was certainly off with Brock. I think whenever when Brock is out of structure and something's off, something is wrong. So we'll see. Like he said, if the game was on Tuesday, today, he would not be able to play. But their game is 2 days ago, 2 days from now. So with that in mind, we'll see if Brock Purdy is able to suit up against the Rams. Huge game. Both teams would love to get it, obviously, early in the season, so it's not exactly do or die, but it's a big one. So I think we are going to see Purdy. He said he couldn't play today, but I think that will change come Thursday, even though Mac Jones is no longer on the injury report. But I did want to show what the offense looked like. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment if this is your first time. I'm going to try to do another video, but, man, by the time I get there, it'll already be time to talk about the Rams. So thanks again, everybody, for watching.